for bluefin into this one right here. We got the into one into two with Z stack. We got the Z stack, especially from the whole thing coming into this right here. The one into two, and just with the whole Z stack, like the Z stacky. Especially we got the whole just thing like, especially from him coming into this one right here and everything goes, and him, turning into every. Like you can always, like they say, you can always divide one into another division. Like when it comes to one, you can multiply that. But especially with the Z stack, he coming into this whole thing, so he's making credential, especially from his whole presentable and the whole thing. But Z stack coming into this one and him just putting this whole thing like he got some type of verbal things going on here.
Nothing to prove, I take the rough with the smooth. My nigga got life, he had nothing to lose. I got social in the distance like that stuff on the news. You ain't ever did a dirty, put no blood on your shoe. Nothing to prove, I take the rough with the smooth. My nigga got life, he had nothing to lose. I got social in the distance like that stuff on the news. You ain't ever did a dirty, put no blood on your shoe. Nigga silent in my presence when I come in the room. Little nigga on the bench and he's clucking to shoot. Still in and out the Benz like I'm fucking the coupe. Still pull up on my block, I got bud in the boot. Just to show a little presence and to govern the youth. All them niggas telling lies, then I life, he had nothing to lose. I got nothing to.
Ooh, and just with this whole thing, like it just really goes for itself to tell you, what's really going on. Like what's really going on, especially the breakdown is so senseless. Like it'll leave you so senseless because it's so much stuff going on. It's so much of a realness going on. It'll just leave you senseless. Like especially someone that really ain't got something to improve or something to lose. Like they'll go give it all up just to lose it all. Like so it just comes into the whole thing, especially from the whole thing, like especially him making moves and stuff like that too. Like it just really vouch for everything else too, especially the trips and him just being himself. But like it's like a point of view, like you gotta look at it where it's like you don't have to prove nothing to really to nobody, to nothing.
Little nigga on the bench and he's clucking to shoot. Still in and out the Benz like I'm fucking the coupe. Still pull up on my block, I got bud in the boot. Just to show a little presence and to govern the youth. All them niggas telling lies, then I come with the truth. I've been blowing hella Cali and there's rum in my juice. Allegations and arrests, I told him come with some proof. Used to being in my trap, now I'm stuck in the booth. Still whipping it to crap, or I'm cutting it loose. Now I hit the studio when there's nothing to do. My nigga Ling fresh home said he's loving the views. Used to cook it in the car.
Ooh, and especially with that, like, hey, especially you coming home for the first time, and you probably been in the zoo for plenty of years, plenty of months. Especially when it comes to that, like that's really a stuck up game. Like when you something like that, you somewhere else, and you finally get to see. It's like so much things is changing too, like especially history. Like history's changed. Like by the years go by, a lot of things has just like changed. Like the views too, even the view, like they change in different places and everything else. Like it just really takes place.
Kettle drinking government juice. Picked him up inside the German playing one of my tunes. He just sat and did the 9 and that's just one of my goons. And any sort of function there's a gun in the room. Got my shooter onto anyone that suddenly moves. And when I'm in my trap, Kitty's running my tunes. Probably mixing or I'm stirring, turning 1 into 2. Or I'm calling with my missus, either one of the two. Pulling up inside the 4 and 50k on my wrist. Shit, I'm only 22 but I've been saving my chips. Consistent with my shit, they say I'm taking a piss. Forgetting about the days when I was taking a risk. Either up in Hatton Garden or...
Hey, forget about those days when I was taking risks. Hey, because now we gotta live. Hey, forget about them days when we was taking the risk because we gotta live what we doing now. Like, that's what we doing now. We not trying to take no risk. We trying to better ourselves. Like, especially from everything else too. Like the life that you living, you gotta really better yourself instead of going back into the lifestyle that you used to be.
In a piss, forgetting about the days when I was taking a risk. Either up in Hatton Garden or I'm scraping the dish. Gave my nigga 25, can't relate, man, it's peak. Said he's always overthinking about the days he was free. Always told me I'm a blow, now I'm just waiting to see. Told him keep your head high, he said he hates the police. My nigga Bingy came home, back to basic in weeks. We ain't taking violations, we just tape up the scene. And shit's more than rap, what's my name in the streets. I'm still running up this paper to a major degree. I gotta watch out for my mate Snake hating police. Even though I love my niggas, shit's fake in the street. Got me blind, all this Cali just to take me to sleep. Used to cooking in the kettle, drinking government juice. Picked him up inside the German, playing one of my tunes. He just sat and did the 9 and that's just one of my goons. And any sort of function, there's a gun in the room. Got my shooter onto anyone that suddenly moves. And when I'm in my trap, Kitty's running my tunes. Probably mixing or I'm stirring, turning 1 into 2. Or I'm calling with my missus, either one of the two.
So much is a thing though. So much of a thing. 1 into 2, like everything he was just going off, like it was just a 1 over 2 thing. Like basically how he was moving this up too. Like they put the whole crescendos and everything else. Especially coming into this one right here with Z Stack and the whole 1 into 2. Got the whole 1 into 2. And mainly with this whole thing right here, like it just really speaks on. Give you some sample game. Give you some game and all that other stuff, but the into 2 and the into the 1, like so basically you ain't really gotta put too much. Like he said, he was putting the steppers too, especially how he just put his whole credentials and everything else. Like it's a limit, but he just be fishing those limits, like especially from coming from his type of Strew and everything else. But we got with Z Stacks and mainly with his main thing and everything else. But make sure you guys definitely tune in with this one right here and everything else. Is 1 into 2. This is 1 into 2. This one had like another a mixture of food. And then mainly with everything else. But make sure you guys definitely like, comment, everything else, and just with this one.